Hey everybody, thank you so much for clicking on this video. So I'm not gonna make this like a big long intro, but I do just wanna put a disclaimer right in the beginning that I do not recommend doing this. There is nothing wrong with Fitness Blender. I think they are amazing, and I'm actually doing a challenge of theirs in the upcoming month. So I'm gonna have a whole full review on them and their program, not this video. This video is just to show you that this is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. You do not need to work out to earn food. You do not need to work out to burn as many calories as you can so that you can eat more. It's a terrible mindset. It's the mindset that I used to have. But when I'm telling you, these are literally the workouts that I lived and breathed by, it's true. So I thought at 31 years old, let's go back and revisit them. So today I'm sharing with you an entire week of 1,000-calorie Fitness Blender workouts that I did. Now I say an entire week, but I also wanted to make sure that I was protecting my body and that I wasn't overwhelming it. Also keep in mind that I do teach 7 fitness classes a week on my own platform, plus usually dance classes for kids, corporate classes for different companies. So I am teaching a lot, and I wanted to make sure that I am not injuring my body. So I did end up doing 3 this week, and still keep in mind, I think it's too many. So I know I just said I wasn't gonna make a big long intro, but I kind of just did. So let's just hop on in. On day 1, I started with the 1,000-calorie workout at home, HIIT, cardio, total body strength training, and stretch. Even though I think these types of workouts are slightly ridiculous, I really respect Kelly and Daniel for making people do a warm-up before jumping right into the HIIT portion. I talk about it all the time, but you want to make sure that A, you're warming up, and B, your warm-up is specific. We trained total body, and they really made sure to warm up everything. It was a little more active than I prefer my warm-ups to be, but I totally get it. They're trying to get us to burn 1,000 calories in less than an hour and a half, so there you go. After the warm-up, we got right into the HIIT portion, which honestly was effing brutal. We worked in the interval of 20 seconds on and 10 seconds rest for 4 rounds. My strategy for recovery was either to walk around in a circle around myself or simply sit down.
Go ahead and get ready. 3, 2, 1, start them up.
Most of these exercises were things I've done before, but sometimes I couldn't figure it out.
Try to get nice wide lateral jumps. Just start with a nice and small jump and then start.
In terms of the structure of the exercises, we switched planes of motion a lot, and we also went from a standing exercise to a floor exercise, like from plank. These are all things that I really like to see in a HIIT routine. And then I really just suffered and sweat for what seemed like an eternity. Like I said in the warm-up, they made a promise to you that you'll burn 1,000 calories, so I understand all of the jumping. You're gonna burn more calories in the moment by getting your heart rate up, but I had to take a little break to stretch out my calves a few times because those bad boys were cramped.
3, 2, 1, and let it relax. All right, nice job. We just have one more exercise left, the squats plus a heel tap.
Then I just hopped back into my circle recovery method like a dog chasing its tail, and I powered through until the end of the first half. Yep, first half. Daniel finally gave me my 2-minute break, and it was truly the best 2 minutes of my entire life.
And let it relax. All right, nicely done. You got through the first half of this HIIT routine. Now we've got a 2-minute break before we start the second.
And then we were back in for more HIIT, but I am serving you angles. We continued to jump around. I decided to take off my shirt and proceeded to find the best camera angle until my camera face planted.
Using this little extra help from those legs. Almost done. And let it relax. All right, that's.
Are you okay?
2 more to go. Get ready.
Okay. It ever so slightly broke the flip screen, so I am ever so slightly heartbroken. But finally, after what felt like an eternity, we finished the HIIT section. Now, this section was right up my alley. I was also just low-key excited to use our new Bowflex adjustable dumbbells since I've been stuck with 10-pound dumbbells all of COVID. Now, I understand why we did the cardio stuff first, because we're trying to get our heart rate up and burn 1,000 calories, but I actually prefer to do strength before cardio. And it's really simple why. Your muscles are already really fatigued by the time you get to the strength if you've already done 40 minutes of HIIT cardio. So you definitely can't lift your max by any means. But again, we're working for calorie burn, so this is much more of like an endurance-based strength session rather than strength. Regardless, this was still my favorite part of the workout. And then the final piece was just some mat core work. Honestly, I didn't even want to be here at this point. It was just pure torture. There's literally no other word to describe it. I did realize halfway through though that my camera looked like it was sinking on the Titanic, so I adjusted it only to tilt it equally as terrible to the other side. So yeah. Day one finally ended with a quick little stretch where you think my camera is going to fall again, but it doesn't. Maybe I need a new tripod. Okay, I just finished teaching a bar class. I look absolutely insane. And I'm already like standing and the living room's already clear, so I'm just gonna get this done. I'm pretty sore today. I definitely half-assed this workout. You already saw that I had literally just taught a class, so I actually skipped the warm-up and used that as my warm-up. But I also had another class to teach at 5:30 a few hours later, so I was honestly just really terrified that my 31-year-old body would completely revolt. But to be fair, Kelly gave me low impact options the entire time, and it was very enticing to just choose those. So I did. And in all honesty, I actually think the low impact version of that HIIT portion is a great workout. You really don't need all of that jumping to get in a good workout. But again, they're trying to get us to burn 1,000 calories. Pretty much this whole workout went from a standing exercise to a floor exercise, which is really just a great tactic to keep the heart rate up, especially if you wimped out like me and chose the low impact version of everything. Now, I'm not gonna make you sit through 10 more sped up minutes of me suffering, so I'm just serving you highlights right now as I reaffirm that this was a terrible idea and I recommend no one do this. PSA over. Build a fucking palace with my dogs to block them out. These days they can't get my fucking name out. 17. No, whoa. Yeah. No, babe. So day 3 was basically Groundhog Day, if the premise of Groundhog Day was to burn as many calories as possible over and over and over again. As far as this workout goes, we started with a great warm-up, my favorite to date. Then we headed into the HIIT cardio, working in a tabata format for 3 rounds. Really, the only word I can use to describe this is traumatic. I'm just so thrilled that I never need to do that again. The format changed up a little bit because we went into our mat core work instead of strength. This was a pretty traditional set, but kudos to Daniel for working us from all angles, not just on the back. We want to work more than just the abdominals. There is a lot more to your core than just one muscle. And then we saved the best for last, the strength portion. This was a very strategically programmed section because we worked push versus pull. But again, I felt like I couldn't lift as heavy as I usually do on certain exercises because my body was dead. And finally, the best part of my day, the cool down. You can see the life has completely left my eyes, and honestly, I've never been happier to be done with something in my entire life. Okay, I've taken some time to wipe my body down and recover, but I can't speak. Do I recommend doing this? No. Goodbye. I ain't tripping off a hoe. I'm finna knock that pussy out like I be knocking on the door. That bitch wetter than the ocean, so I had to buy a boat.